Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well today. What I want to talk to you guys about today is this connection between hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's, and basically your adrenal glands. And really this concept of adrenal fatigue, okay, where the adrenal glands decrease in their capacity to put out cortisol and your adrenaline and your epinephrine and norepinephrine, right, which is basically your adrenaline. So what can happen is you can fatigue your adrenal glands, and you can end up with these symptoms of chronic fatigue where you just have no energy, right? So what I want to talk about is really how these things are connected. So let me give you a common scenario that I see. So someone will develop Hashimoto's or they're hypothyroid, right? Most of the time, most people that I see are hypothyroid, and they're hypothyroid because of Hashimoto's, and they've been placed on a thyroid hormone replacement to try and bring the levels up, but they still don't feel well. Those are the most common people that I see in my office. I see lots of different things, but that's a very, very common scenario. So what happens is they're tired all the time. And they're like, well, why am I tired when my thyroid hormones are I'm taking thyroid hormone replacement. And so one of the things that tends to happen is if you look at their thyroid hormones, a lot of times they can be perfectly normal. Like you look, and even when I look at the 9 different labs that we very commonly order, which you can learn about, I created a guidebook called the 9 labs required to understand, 9 tests required to understand your thyroid. You can check that guidebook out if you're interested. Just post a link below, or post a question about that guidebook, and we'll send you a link so you can go and get it if you want to. I'm just going to tell you before you even go that we charge $7 for the guidebook. Okay, it's $7. We put a lot of time into it, but it's also, we have to host a website and pay for the technology fees. So we just ask that you help us cover some of the technology fees. But it's a guidebook. Check it out. It's really very, very helpful. But it gives you 9 different tests required to understand your thyroid. And even when we see all those normal, what you can have happen is that there's inflammation present, or there are other issues that are impairing the body's ability to utilize the thyroid hormone. So what happens is that you don't get normal stimulation of the cells of your body. And when you don't get normal stimulation of the cells of your body, guess what happens? Well, what happens is you have decreased energy. So what other systems of your body will kick in to compensate for that? Your adrenal glands will do that. So whenever you drink anything caffeinated, whenever you drink anything that's caffeinated, what it does is it stimulates the same release of hormones that are triggered when someone scares you. No kidding. It's the same thing. You stimulate the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands pump out adrenaline. They pump out cortisol, your stress hormone cortisol. And what that does is that energizes your body, just like drinking like something caffeinated would, right? It speeds up your metabolism, speeds up the heart rate, stimulates the sympathetic, your fight or flight sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight system. Same thing that a caffeinated drink does, right? Or that caffeine does. And so what happens is when you have decreased thyroid hormone activity and you're so sluggish, well, for one thing, that system, the adrenal glands, will try to compensate to energize your body. Now, a lot of people push that system. And how do they do it? They push it by drinking lots of caffeinated beverages, right? Lots of caffeine, lots of sugar. They do these things to stimulate the adrenals and to try to push the adrenals to just make more and more adrenaline so that they have energy. And what they do is they just run off of these sugar and caffeine highs, and then they crash, and then they spike it again. They got to get their fix, spike it, crash, spike it, crash. Wreaks havoc on your blood sugar, wreaks havoc on your hormones, wreaks havoc on your brain chemistry, your neurotransmitters. And so one of the things that I really wanted to talk about was that process can completely exhaust and run down your adrenal glands. So that is something, and then the adrenal glands have an impact on decreased integrity of your barrier systems. Your barrier systems are part of your immune system. The barriers keep things out of the bloodstream that shouldn't be there. Okay, like your GI tract, which is the gut barrier. It's when it breaks down, we call it leaky gut, is the lay term, right? If you want to look it up on PubMed, it's going to be intestinal permeability. The other barriers are going to be your lung barrier, keeps things in the air out of the bloodstream, so it's at the lung. Barrier does that. The blood-brain barrier keeps things in the bloodstream out of the brain that shouldn't go into the brain. And then the skin is your other barrier. So you have four of those barriers. And so anyway, the cortisol being elevated or being low will thin those barriers and promote, decreased barrier integrity, promote leaky gut, promote autoimmunity, promote inflammation. So you got to look at this thing, and you really, the interesting thing is that no one ever has one problem. They're like, well, it's thyroid. It's my thyroid. Well, is it your thyroid, or do you now have a thyroid problem that has become a lot of other problems that are all working together that you have to address? You have to try to address all those at one time. And many times that's what you see. You see that people have multiple problems that are going on, and you need to try to help support it, as comprehensively as possible, as simply as possible, which is the trick, right? It's like, how do you address all these things at one time without having the person taking, 100 pills a day? And nutritional support, dietary changes. And the fact is that a lot of times we have to use I use a lot of nutritional support initially. Anyway, I try to get people off of all the supplements they're taking. The only thing I really take on a regular basis is I take like a multivitamin, I take essential fatty acids, and I take vitamin D, which are all in my foundational health protocol. If any of you guys are interested in the supplementation that I handpick, so I have this online, I utilize an online nutraceutical dispensary. Okay, so it's a company that allows me to have an account with them, and they have in their warehouse, they have all kinds of, a lot of physician-only supplements, a lot of supplements that I know are high quality, but they have this huge dispensary, and I've handpicked the ones that I like, and I've created different categories. So in the categories that I've created under my account, and it's full script. If you want to go there, it's full, FULLSCRIPT, fullscript.com, and you can just go to, we'll provide a link. You can click there and go there, and you have to log in under my account so that you can see the stuff that I've handpicked. But I have all these different categories. There are probably 15 to 20 categories where I've grouped supplementation that I utilize that's beneficial for specific problems. So like digestion or foundational support is one in particular. I think I'm waking up somebody. I think I'm waking up one of my kids. I can't do that. We've had this cricket in our house for a few days. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but this cricket is in our house, and it's so loud, and then I'm talking, and I'm trying to do this discreetly, but it's not working too well. So anyway, you can go to full script and you can see all the stuff. I've got one folder or one category that's called foundational support, and it's the multivitamin, the essential fatty acids that I recommend, and the vitamin D. Those are the things I think are foundational, just to fill in the nutrient potholes so normal biochemistry can occur. But anyway, you've really got to look at the person as a whole, whole person, and then try to support these systems of the body that could be breaking down with dietary, lifestyle, and temporary nutritional support to nurture healing of the body's systems. And then you want to taper them off of those things so they're not taking them forever. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to try to be quiet. And if you have any questions, let us know. Remember that in the month of September, it usually takes you 2 weeks to get an appointment with me, but I'm giving away the 6-week Hashimoto's transformation program to all new in-office patients and all distance consulting clients. So just for the cost of the first appointment, you're going to get a dietary program. It's diet and lifestyle based. We've got a Facebook support group. It's a $495 value for just becoming an appointment. And I'm doing that as a way to try to give back to you guys, because I appreciate all the great support and the wonderful things that you guys are doing to kind of promote us and promote me and what I'm trying to teach. I really, really appreciate you. So in the month of September, this year, 2016, this is what we're going to do, right? I'm going to give you, if you make an appointment, but your appointment has to be in the month of September. Keep in mind, it takes about 2 weeks just to get an appointment. You've got to return, you got forms to fill out, return, but you're going to get a great value, because our first visit is $250, but you're going to get me walking you through everything that I see, giving you my ideas on what I think is happening to you, and then I'm going to give you specific, if I think it's reasonable, I might be able to give you some specific supplementation recommendations. It's always better if we have labs, and very expanded labs, much better, but I can help you determine what you might need from FullScript if you begin our program without getting laboratory testing done or anything else, and that's quite all right. I'll help you figure out what's best for you, no worries. But I think it's a good opportunity, so you guys need to figure out, if you're thinking, oh, you're on the fence of do you want to make an appointment as a distance consulting client? Remember, we can work with people all over the country. We can get lab testing done near you. We can work with you very much like we would in-office patients. You have to be seeing someone as your primary care, and as your, if you have an endocrinologist, because I'm not going to be able to do a physical exam, so we do distance consulting on you, okay? So there's some things that we try to do there to help give you guidance and really help you guys out, but we're trying to do some things to really give back, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. If there's anything that we can do for you, or you have questions, let me know. Just post them in the comments here. We can post some links for you guys, and help you better understand like some tools and resources that I think are helpful. But I'm going to be quiet. I feel like I'm being too loud, and don't want to wake anyone up. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, rest of the day, and I gotta get everybody up. So I gotta get going, but I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna try to do some more live videos at lunchtime, and then I'll try to do my sauna session this evening. But I appreciate you guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks.